So it's 2020. You have tons of time in the world to write, but there is one problem. Writer's block. Yeah, I've been there and I know exactly how you feel. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips that I use to overcome writer's block. And I'm also going to offer you a different perspective that may change your creative writing process. But first, the intro. Hey, what's up guys? This is Monica with One Word Productions. Today we are talking about writer's block. First things first, let's start off with the definition of this term. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, writer's block is a psychological inhibition preventing a writer from proceeding with a piece. That is what they say. I say that writer's block is a period of time where it's challenging and it's difficult for a writer to actually flow creatively or flow the way that they're used to flowing. So now that we have the definitions out of the way, let's go ahead and dig into these 3 things that would help you overcome writer's block. Tip number 1, put the pen down. But I'm supposed to be writing. Put the pen down. I need you to walk away from the notebook, walk away from the notepad, and allow your brain to have an opportunity to reset. Get some fresh wind flowing, some fresh creative ideas. If that comes from listening to some music, dancing, going outside, breathing some good fresh air, if that means working out. Sometimes people get their most creative suggestions in the bathroom. So go sit somewhere. Put the pen down. My point is to back away from what you're focusing on. Take a break from it. Give yourself some time to regroup and then come back to it. Who knows? You might come back with a masterpiece. Tip number 2, set an alarm. So what you're going to do is set an alarm, right? Set it for 3 minutes and you're going to write. You're going to write 3 minutes straight, not concerned about being perfect, not concerned about producing anything that's going to be handed over to any judges. You're just going to write. Don't be concerned about grammatical errors or placement or even the spelling. The point here is not for you to produce a piece or a poem or a song. The point here is that we're trying to get our brain into the habit or into the mode of writing. We're getting our brain into the creative mode where those juices are flowing. You know, when you start to crank the engine a little bit and you got to let it run. Anybody have an old school car? You got to let that thing run, give it some gas. So setting a 3-minute drill is like giving your brain gas when it comes to the creative side of your brain. Sometimes it takes a little longer, sometimes it doesn't. But allow yourself some space to write without feeling like you have to be perfect. Just get the car running. All right? Tip number 3, have a party. Nah, not really. I did say it was 2020. Ain't nobody having well, some people are having parties. Listen, have a party. What do I mean? I mean iron sharpens iron. What does that mean? You have some poet friends. You have some spoken word friends. You have some friends that are gifted with the pen. Call them up. Talk to them. DM them. Message them, text them, whatever the case is, talk to them and let them know, hey, you're having some issues writing a piece and you need some help. If that means, hey, let me tell you what I have so far. What do you think I could do with this? How could this work? Even if it's just, hey, what are you working on? Let me hear what you got going on. And it's not so that you can steal what they're writing, but it's so that you can cultivate an atmosphere of creativity. Go to an open mic. Go to an open mic, pull up some old videos from other open mics. Go ahead and just get yourself in the atmosphere of creating. If you get around some other creative artists, some other writers, some other poets, you get around them, you guys share, build on one another, build up one another. Iron sharpens iron. And what that means is when you get around somebody else that's a spoken word artist and you're a poet or you're an artist and you guys are coming together and you're sharing things and you're building off of each other and you're bouncing stuff off of each other, what you end up doing is sharpening your knives. You're sharpening them, they're sharpening you, you're sharpening yourself, they're sharpening it. There's a constant sharpening that's going on. And what happens when you sharpen? Both irons end up being sharpened and you end up growing together. And so that's another way that you can overcome writer's block. Again, tip number 1, put the pen down. Tip number 2, set an alarm. Get you a drill going. Tip number 3, have a party. Invite other people into your atmosphere so you don't feel like you're doing this thing alone. I hope that those 3 tips have helped you or maybe will help you. There are so many things that you can do to get out of the rut of not being able to write. Oh, another thing. This is about perspective, and I desire you guys to hear me out. You may agree with it, you may not, but this is something that helped me. Seasons change. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes there are seasons where writing doesn't come as easily. And instead of beating yourself up about not producing, I encourage you to embrace the opportunity for you to pour back into yourself. There's a cliche, or what is the old folklore that says that garbage in is garbage out, right? A lot of times as creatives, we're pressured to put stuff out, but we haven't poured into ourselves. Or we're pouring out of a cup that's halfway empty or that is empty, and we're concerned about why things won't flow. It's not going to flow because there's nothing in there to flow from. And so I encourage you to not be pressured if things aren't coming. Take a break from writing altogether and just receive from the word. Get into worship, get into praise. Go ahead and get into your Bible. Just spend some time with the Lord. Spend some time with friends and family and just get refilled so that when you do pour out, you're not pouring out of emptiness, but you're pouring out of overflow. So I hope that helped you. I hope it added value to you on today. If you can, go ahead and like the video and subscribe. But also, if you will, drop in the comment section. Tell me what it is that you do to overcome writer's block when it seems hard. Well, that's been my time, guys. And until next time.